Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with a spicy legacy video. I hope so anyways. So today I'm sort of taking a plunge into the deep end. I found this list linked to me from someone who had trophied with it, and it looks amazing. I've made just a couple of tweaks, but nothing major, but this is Doomsday, but in a very different way. So we're playing Bolas' Citadel in Doomsday with Tendrils of Agony as an alternative win condition to Thassa's Oracle. Now I have played, I think, just around 0 matches in my life with Bolas' Citadel, so I don't know if I might end up with egg on my face here, making bad plays, but we'll learn as we go along. I don't know exactly like any sort of Bolas' Citadel Doomsday heuristics here, so we'll see. The only two changes I made to the main deck was I added 2 copies of Stock Up in place of 1 copy of Pact of Negation and 1 copy of Night's Whisper. I think the Night's Whisper is the most defensible swap because those 2 cards could be seen as like filling similar roles. Obviously, Stock Up and Pact of Negation do not do the same thing at all. I'm just not a big fan of Pact of Negation in Doomsday because, a non-zero amount of the time we need to pass the turn. And I think like Stock Up is also just a card I'm kind of interested in putting in my deck right now, and especially with Bolas' Citadel, I think it's interesting, right? It's certainly like, yeah, it's gonna cost you 3 life if you flip it with Bolas' Citadel, but having this effect for no mana is pretty crazy. Oh yeah, also I made one other change was to the main deck, which was the original creator of the deck played 2 Edge of Autumns and no Street Wraith. I added a Street Wraith, and obviously there's a cost. If you if Edge of Autumn is the top card of your deck with Bolas' Citadel in play, you pay 2 life, and then you get a shuffle of your deck basically, and maybe you get to find a basic land. Whereas if you flip Street Wraith, you're now having to pay 5 life to get a 3/4 creature into play, which you don't want. But the flip side of that is like having 2 cyclers both be Edge of Autumn kind of shuts off several sort of early turn 2 wins basically, or turn 1 wins, I suppose, where you would have 1 land only, and you would need to cycle twice, which is gonna come up, I think. So I made that choice. In the sideboard, the original list was playing 2 copies of Locust Spray, which is a black instant for 1 mana, 1 black mana, and target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, and then it cycles for a black mana. It just I'm not sure exactly what we're killing with that, and but it might serve some function I'm just not seeing. But I wanted I was a little bit of a chicken, so I didn't want to not have Camera Souls anywhere in my deck, so I have it in the sideboard now, and I also added a Jace just in case we come up against, like, I don't know, there might be spots where we want the second alternative win condition with Doomsday and not be Tendrils. I don't know. But I think that's enough. Let's see how this goes. All right, so I am on the draw here. I guess I keep this hand. Not exactly sure how excited I'm supposed to be about this. And okay, so thankfully we passed the first test, which was to not have a Chalice for 1 in play against this before we got our turn. Yeah, something I didn't talk about in the deck tag was how there is no Force of Will in the main deck. And I think that's very reasonable when you're thinking about like what Bolas' Citadel does, because you don't want to flip a Force of Will. Basically, it's kind of a non-bow. You get stuck there. Um, okay, let's see what the opponent is doing. Oh, it's Rhinos. Yikes. Okay, so that kind of puts a damper on things here. Would have liked to be able to cycle into a Force here, but we can't. Okay, there is Crashing Footfalls. Opponent is going to be attacking for 10 next turn, and could still be sitting on like Force of Will in hand. Let's see. If the top 2 cards of our deck are like Doomsday and Dark Ritual, then we would be at 10 and 5. Yeah, then it's still Still kind of interesting. Yeah, I think I just Thoughtseize here. This is also a deck that sometimes plays Wasteland. Let's hope they don't have Wasteland. Mystical Dispute. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. And let's let's see if we somehow aren't dead next, like if we can win the game next turn, basically. That's what we have to hope for. All right, here comes the Knuckleheads. And let's see. Okay, they're cycling Lauren Reeld. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so they can't have Force of Will here because they don't have a blue card. So we do get one like free pass here of one turn if we can cobble something together, but I'm very skeptical. Um, so basically, the question is, do I want to cycle Street Wraith before or after, or even at all? If we brainstorm into, it would have to be Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Lotus Petal for it to matter that we had Street Wraith still in hand. I think I might just want to cycle Street Wraith. I mean, even if we resolve Bolas Citadel here, we have so few life to play with. It's not amazing. I could like crack a fetch land here in order to be able to, like, I don't know, brainstorm into what exactly. If I brainstorm into Dark Ritual plus like Edge of Autumn, then I get to Bolas Citadel and be at 5 life because I would have to fetch first. Yeah, not looking good, team. Well, I don't think I'm gonna like try for that. I'm gonna just cast my brainstorm here and probably concede. Yep. Okay. Damn. All right, let's concede. Okay, well, that was um that was a bit of a showstopper. let's let's jump into the sideboard, and I think we want the Force of Negations here. Force of Negations, Force of Will. I mean, I think we want the Fluster Storms. I think Consign to Memory is a nice little showstopper as well. Cavern of Souls, probably. So we have to shave a lot of fat here, which almost makes me feel like we have to cut one of the combos. And then like we can either be a dedicated Bolas Citadel deck that tries to eventually just put a Lethal Tendrils on the stack. What's better? So if we side out, maybe we don't have to side out all copies of Doomsday, but let's say we side out 3. And that means we can probably also side out Lion's Eye Diamond. And Consider can probably go then. How happy would I be about like having still having Thassa's Oracle and Doomsday in my and one copy of Doomsday? Would I rather just not? Maybe I'm just supposed to side it all out. Let's see here. One more copy of Doomsday and the copy of Thassa. That's actually a pretty solid 9/9 swap. We will be sitting on 20 blue cards for our Force of Will. That's not bad. Okay, let's oh, in that case I don't want Cavern of Souls. So I guess I will put back, which card is most useful here? Probably the Consider. It's also a blue card. Yeah, let's try this. I only have 3 copies of Bolas Citadel now. That does feel very light. Um, yeah, I'll keep this. We have Force, and they would need to have combo with Force backup on turn 1 for me not to be able to untap and then have further disruption. So I kind of... Okay, they're down to 6. Alright, let's play out this. Hopefully get another land. I'll take another Force of Will. I feel like I'm the control deck here. And then eventually I'll execute my combo. Oh, shit. Oh, there's... I just saw the Spirit Guide green mana suddenly pop up. I was like, holy fuck. But they are just using it to make a land drop here. So they are going to be down on resources, which is, I think, good for the strategy that I'm trying to deploy here. And I think I want to ponder on my turn and just looking for a land. Ponder sees more cards than Preordain, and I'm pretty much happy with any three if there's a land. There is not a land. Okay, dark shuffle here, and we get lucky. And now I think I keep up double force fluster rather than cast Thoughtseize, and then I can cast Thoughtseize next turn. Maybe that's playing a little safe here, but I don't hate it. Okay, they suspend the crashing footfalls. Okay, so we're playing the long game. Okay, love that land. Think I'm just gonna Thoughtseize here. Stock up Endurance and Brazen Borrower. I think it's actually the Brazen Borrower. I would really not like to have my future Bolas Citadel petty thefted. And so this is not the best hand, but they will eventually start doing stuff. Okay, I'm going to fetch before my Preordain in case I find two things I like and I want to be able to cast Flusterstorm. Well, the Bolas Citadel I like for sure. Not sure about the Swamp. I think I bottom the Swamp and I draw the Citadel. I know, like, I kind of want more mana, and Swamp is more mana, but it's also like slow mana. Okay, so they're passing. I think I'm gonna take this time to consider. This is sort of taking me down to one force plus fluster, like bidding all these blue cards. Okay, Brainstorm is nice, and a Lotus Petal. Let's cast this Brainstorm. Okay, I also kind of want Force of Wills out of my deck, if that makes sense. But 3 is a bit much. Lotus Petal I like. Consigned Memory, now we're really overloading on like Disruption. I think I have to put back at least one copy of Force of Will. And then probably I'll put back Ponder, and then I'll draw the Ponder next turn and cast it. So we can consign to memory the final trigger off of the suspended footfalls here, if we want to, and they're just passing again. Okay, that will send it into exile permanently. Okay. Cast Ponder. I'd like to see a ritual of some sort. So I mean, this is gonna give me Bolas Citadel mana next turn, so maybe I'll just maybe that's the play. Let me just see. Yeah, this is one counter. Yeah, let's pass. Oops. Was I supposed to... Was that the trigger? No. Did I get it wrong? Maybe it must have had 2 counters on it. Okay, now they have 2 mana. We know 4 of their cards. So I don't think I'm supposed to wait here. I think I'm supposed to just go for it with double force backup. And then we'll see what this Bolas Citadel can do. And I don't have to reveal cards. I can just look at them. So it's not like opponent is getting a bunch of free information. Alright, let's see. I'm assuming they have 1 force. I'm hoping they don't have 2. Okay, Cabal Ritual. I will cast it. That makes 5 black mana. The Endurance, so it only makes 3. I think that's fine. I don't have to do anything. Like, I don't have to keep casting cards and eventually die. Obviously, if I get very low, it's kind of not ideal. And so that was that. And now they fetch in response for some reason. What could that reason be? Do they have some kind of way to sacrifice the endurance? Petty theft. Okay, so they did find that. I don't think so. My Cabal Ritual resolves. I have 3 black floating. I'm going to cast this Preordain. I'm going to bottom... Suppose I might as well draw the Lotus Petal. Or top the... Or is that even true? No, I'm going to bottom that as well. I don't think mana is going to be the choking point. Okay, Thoughtseize, plus I have a Dark Ritual in hand. Well... What do I take here? Because my fun's about to stop. I think I just take the Mystical Dispute, and Yeah, because I already made my land drop. No, hang on. Do I get an extra land drop? I guess I did make my land drop. Yeah, no, that's true. I made 2 lotus petals. Okay. I'll cast this. I'll Thoughtseize. I'm about to run out of life here. Ponder. Um, what am I looking for? I think maybe I just. Oh God, this is kind of frustrating, right? We're getting to the point where I have to find like I have to draw. I have to get Tendrils of Agony into my hand because I'm at 5 life. Um, let's actually draw the Brainstorm. Oh no, I wasn't supposed to draw the Brainstorm because then I will have to shuffle to cast it. Okay, I think I'm gonna shuffle. Lotus Petal, that's kind of nice. Doesn't cost me any life. There's a Brainstorm. Okay, I'm gonna cast that. And I kind of brick here. Okay, I think I'm about to go to 3 here and fetch. What am I looking for? So I'm looking for, um, well, I mean, I guess the Tendrils of Agony, the Profane Tutor to get Tendrils of Agony, or maybe a Stock Up, but I can't cast Stock Up, I'm at 3. Okay, let's cast this Ponder. Um, yeah, let's shuffle these. And let's cast Preordain. Yeah, because can't keep playing lands. Let's cast Preordain. Let's bottom both of these. No. Let's draw the Brainstorm for next turn. And I'll pass. And I'm going to let them just have their rhinos here because, I mean, I can't. I'm going to be dead next turn anyways, I think. Like, I have 1 turn here with all my mana. What's the flavor text here? Sacrifice 10 non-land permanents? Yeah. That's not gonna do anything. Okay, so I can cast Brainstorm, and then I have a shuffling effect, but I don't have any land to get. I completely brick here. Yeah, this has been a pretty spectacular failure. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle here, and I can only it can only be a one drop, and I'm dead. Like I can cast this duress, I go to 1, and then it doesn't matter. Well, no, that's not true. I could if Profane Tutor is the next card down. But it's not. It is a Flood Strand. Okay, GG's. Hmm. I feel like somehow I didn't play that correctly. um, yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to just wait. I don't know if boarding out all the Doomsdays also meant that my Bolas Citadel has too little wiggle room or too few like business spells to do stuff with. I don't know. Let's see. We're on the play for round number 2. Well, this seems good. Um, so we can either turn 1 Doomsday blindly, or we can thought seize. I think I like thought seizing here. And I'm not playing around Wasteland because they can Wasteland us and we can still go turn 2 Doomsday with Cabal Ritual and Lotus Petal. Oh no, double Force of Will? Wow. Okay. Well, let's take one of those. Well, glad I didn't jam. Alright, opponent goes for a Ponder here. Very reasonable play. And they don't shuffle. Okay. They have Lotus Petal, so this is well, I say it's probably Doomsday, but could it could just as easily, or maybe even more easily, be like Sneak and Show. Okay, I'm going to cast Stock Up here, cash in this Lotus Petal, and my opponent, um, if they want to Force of Will it, I'm happy enough with that. Apparently my opponent is considering letting this petal resolve. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's see if this gets through. It does. So we can have So we can have Bolas' Citadel and Duress here, and try and see if we can get Bolas' Citadel to work. I think I like that. Yeah. I mean, the other choice was to try and go for the Doomsday, but I think I like this. So if we get a ritual effect next turn, we get to just do everything in the same turn, or a pedal, I guess. The second ponder. There's Misty. Again, no shuffle. Second duress, I guess that's also fine. So we can do that twice this turn. Mostly, I don't want to see like brainstorm here because I would be concerned that they would hide like show and tell or something. Okay, so they have show and tell, they have spell pierce, and they have force of will. Okay, so I'm going to take the spell pierce, and then I'm going to cast my second duress, and I'm going to take force of will, and then like the worst case scenario, they have Atraxa on top of their deck or Gristlebrand, but I am willing to risk that rather than taking the show and tell and them having a like any blue card, or they can fetch to find any blue card here. Because if what they have on top of the deck is Omniscience or like Emrakul, then we're we're rosy. Okay, they do fetch, so I'm happy about that. And they found stock up. Yikes, that was good. Good pickup from them. All right, I'm gonna get Undercity Sewers here, and then I think I probably cast Bolas' Citadel, or try to, and if they have a counterspell for that, then we have Doomsday on the following turn. I think Brainstorm is a fine card to keep there in case the game goes longer. So far, we have navigated 2 Force of Wills and a Spell Pierce, but they did just stock up. It would suck an almighty fuck. Sorry, I'm potty mouthing here. Ooh, okay. They did find Spell Pierce. Well, at least it cost them a Lotus Petal. And I'm glad they didn't Spell Pierce. They didn't save the Spell Pierce. And they found Show and Tell. Well, I'm going to put in Bolas' Citadel. And hope I'm not dead. Emrakul. Okay. Well, I think that's good. That means I get to untap with the Citadel. And I am able to put Doomsday on the stack right now. So let's see how that would look. So I could Dark Ritual, that takes me to 14 life. I then cast Doomsday, I'm at 7. I make a pile that has... I still have Brainstorm in hand, so I think that's actually just a win. Alright, sweet. Well, let's get a Duress in there just for good measure. In case there's some lunatic that is holding what do you call it? Like consign a memory. And I guess consider. So how would this look? Duress is the top card, so I go to 6 and I duress them. Then LED next, I play that no mana. Then consider, I take 1 life. I bin Edge of Autumn and I draw Thassa. Yeah, that's nice. Huh? This is fun. Yeah, let's duress ya. Another Emrakul. Okay. Now this is pod racing. All right, let's cast this, and if we didn't even need to do that, I don't know why I did that. I have plenty of blue mana. Okay, sweet. Holy moly, this was game 1. I just got a little bit confused here. Okay, so I think Flusterstorm. I'm not sure about Hydroblast. I didn't see any red mana. Don't know if they're on sneak attack or what. So, and I think I like Cavern of Souls here, just to be able to go Dark Ritual Doomsday Pass and not feel bad about it. I think I'm gonna board out a couple of things here. Maybe I board out a basic island because I'm boarding in a land as well. Let's see how many blue cards does this take us to? Takes us to 20, which is fine, but not great. I need to cut 5 more things. Maybe I like cutting a couple of Cabal rituals and like one Bolas Citadel. And then we need to cut one more thing. I think I like cutting a copy of Preordain. Or do I? Is it actually LED I need to be cutting here? Oops, not another pedal. Yeah, I think LED. In that case, I think also Consider can actually go, but then I drop below 20 blue cards. Then I get to keep another Bolas Citadel. Yeah, I like this. Oh, hang on. I miscounted. Camera souls. Okay, so I do need to cut another card. I don't want to go down to 18 blue cards, so oh, maybe I'll cut the Street Wraith. Just be on one cycler, living that easy cycle life. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. This is a turn 3 Bolas Citadel. That's not amazing, but they shuffle. Okay, this could still just be like a mono blue deck. 4th land, not excited about that. Let's cast this Preordain. I like both of these top. I think I'm gonna lead on Duress here. If they want to Spell Pierce, I'll pay. It's gonna cost me my pedal, but we're sort of even on cards. I guess if they have Flusterstorm, that's a little bit annoying. Double Show and Tell and Stock Up, and then Cunning Wish as well. So I don't know what kind of card Cunning Wish could go get, but probably it's going to be a problem. But I'm going to take the Stock Up. That's what I think will mostly get me into trouble here. Let's see, 4, 5 with Preordain, 6 with Pedal, 7. So if I Preordain into a Cabal Ritual here, I can actually have Citadel, but I did board some of those out, so that's probably not going to happen. So if I cast Doomsday here, which I can do that, and then they Cunning Wish for, like, they could Cunning Wish for Consign to Memory, for instance, but I think we can probably beat that, right? I think I'm gonna go for that. So, Cavern of Souls, a Thassa's Oracle, some number of Duresses, and like basic island. Oh, I bored that out. I guess Underground Sea. That's a lot of passing the turn. Maybe we just go for 1 Duress here, and then another land. So I draw Duress, and then I can draw Thassa, and then I can just win if they can't do anything about it. Yeah, let's try that. Put the 2 lands on the bottom, then Cavern, then Thassa, then Duress. And there's also the fun world where they show and tell right now, and I put in Bolas Citadel, and then I can cast all my spells. Okay, they do. But, I mean, if they found Omniscience, obviously I'm dead. Because they have the Cunning Wish. Oh, it's Emrakul. Hey, buddy. Alright. Okay, so... yeah. Let's, Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I was just trying to figure it out here, because I have to pay mana for the Duress, but not for the Thassa. Okay, I'm gonna cast or play the Delta. Then I'm gonna cast Thassa, maintain priority, and I'm gonna fetch. Yeah, that will get me where I need to be. I guess I can even get Undercity Sewers and surveil the Underground Sea into the graveyard. Yeah, sweet! We're on the board. Bolas Citadel off of Show and Tell 2 games in a row. That was fun. Okay, off to round number 3. Alrighty, round number 3 on the play here. Let's go. Okay, so this hand... This is... I'm going to keep this hand, and it's cool and all. I'm a little bit unsure about... This is a big decision here is if we go for turn 1 Ponder or Thoughtseize. Because if the only reason I think I would want to Thoughtseize is to avoid them Thoughtseizing me. or having like maybe oh yeah if they're on a Chalice deck or a turn one combo deck. No, I think I am gonna Thoughtseize on second thought here. But if they wasteland me, then it's not good. But then I guess Lotus Petal plus Ponder, we have to make it work. Okay, opponent mulliganing down to 5. Immediately the alarm bells go off for a fast combo deck. So I am gonna. If there were any doubt, I don't have any doubt now. Now I just see a hand of like double wasteland and I cry. Well, could have been Esper Sentinel. So I don't think we can like realistically expect to beat Thalia here. Uh, hmm. I think I have to take Thalia, but it's really annoying that they have the Esper Sentinel as well. Okay, I'm gonna take Thalia, yeah, and I'm not gonna play out my rocks here. I want Storm Count, potentially, and like I'm not gonna spend the mana anyways to pay for my Ponder, so they can just have their Sentinel here, and they're gonna get their card. Land is nice. So let's see here. On on the face of it, I can get Petal is 2, 3, Ponder is 4, Flooded Strand is 5. 5 cards into the graveyard. I think I am just gonna let them draw a card here. There is a chance I actually get to resolve Bolas Citadel here if I, or I get to resolve Doomsday. That's probably better. So the question is, do they have something that can exile my LED? I mean, maybe, but I still think I want to play it out to not have to give them a card next turn, and not like if they, especially it's more important that if they have another Thalia. So here's Doomsday. So we need Thalia, double Cycler, and like what consider, and what a land that I can consider away. So I draw consider, or I draw a Cycler, then cycle into consider away the edge of the island, draw second cycler. Yeah, I think that's the play here. And then if they have a way to exile my Lion's Eye Diamond, then it's not ideal, but it's probably okay. I guess we can put the land near the bottom here. It's fine. All right, I am casting the LED. Hopefully they can exile it. They only have 2 lands to work with. I guess only one. What is this? Hideaway. If you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may play it. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Okay. Looks like we get to have our fun here. And then we cycle. Or not cycle. I'm just going to sack this LED while I remember it. But then I'm going to pay so they don't draw. I don't know what it could be that they might have in their main deck, but you never know. Alright, sweet. So we did decide to not include the -1/-1 effect, the Locust Sprays. So I don't really have much that I could be bringing in here. Maybe 4 Force of Will over the 4 Duress is something I'm interested in. Maybe I keep in 1 Duress and board out 1 Thoughtseize. I mean, obviously, it seems like what they have is creatures, but they could also have other stuff. Okay, I'm going to try this and just resubmit. And it does kind of suck, these Force of Wills making Bolas the Citadel worse, but I do think it's worth it. Like, Force of Willing a Thalia or something is pretty, something I'm pretty interested in. Oh, this is prime example. I might even, I don't know. Can I afford to Force of Will an Esper Sentinel? Probably not. They mulligan to 6. Alright, I'm keeping this. They found 6 they liked. Chrome Mox, okay. So it is a sort of mono white stompy type deck. Force of Virtue, okay. Thalia. Thalia says, bye bio. Dark Ritual? No, okay, Flooded Strand. I'll play out my LED here. If they end up taking a turn exiling it, it's not the end of the world. It's actually probably fine. And I don't know. We'll see if they are able to do something more. Another Thalia. Boo. Um, I think I will cast Consider right now. Because if I can find like Dark Ritual, let's get rid of Ponder. Another Doomsday. Not what I want. Yeah, another land. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Hopefully they're out of gas over there, and I will soon, hopefully, be able to put Doomsday on the stack. It's good. Undercity sewers. Luckily, there was no Aven Mine Sensor flashed in. Another Doomsday. Okay. Hopefully, they don't play Surgical Extraction. That would be awkward. And a Profane Tutor. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. Instead, I'm going to cast Doomsday now. If they can remove a card from my graveyard, then they get to mess me up here, but luckily that was not the case. Okay, so we want the Consider, we want the Cyclers. I'm going to be at 7 life, 5 after Thalia attacks. So I am like drawing Street Wraith, cycling Street Wraith into Edge of Autumn, cycling Edge of Autumn into Consider, putting a random card in my graveyard, and then drawing Thassa. Yeah, maybe that random card again needs to be an island. I'm trying to work out if I can get like a Duress in, but I don't think I can. So if they have something like, oh, what could it be? Like Disruptor Flute or something that would get us here, but I think it's fine. Okay. Let's put Thassa on the bottom, then Island, then Consider, then the 2 Cyclers. Oh, fuck. Yep, that is good. That actually does it, because now I'm going to be at 5. Well, let's see. So the problem is I can't cycle the Street Wraith anymore. Let's see if is there any way? So I pass. I'm down to 1. I get my turn. I draw Edge of Autumn, and then I cycle Edge of Autumn into Consider, and then I have to pay 2 mana, and then yeah, no, I just about cannot do it. So would need another turn. Leonin Relic Warder. Haven't seen that one in a hot minute. I'm just gonna resubmit though. Ooh, no lands. It's gonna be a mulligan. This does have lands. I'm gonna keep here, and I'm actually going to turn 1 suspend the Profane Tutor. So I'm gonna put away. It's the Cabal Ritual or the Dark Ritual. I think it's actually the Dark Ritual, and I think I might just be getting a. No, I'm gonna get Underground Sea. So I was saying like I was gonna say like Swamp, but I don't think so. I haven't seen Wasteland. I do expect that they'd play it, but and a Chrome Box. Okay, they have more Esper Sentinel. That's certainly strong. I think Ponder is good. Yeah, I unfortunately have to give them 2 cards here. It's so strong, but I get 2 good cards. So next turn the Profane Tutor is going to go off suspend before I get my draw step. So I think I probably have to take the Dark Ritual here. And so let's see. I have 3 cards in the deck. It's going to be 4 with Profane Tutor, 5 with Dark Ritual. So I am missing. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, now it's that's 6. Uh, and I'm going to force will the Thalia here. They get to draw a bunch of cards. Hopefully they don't have play Mindbreak Trap. They probably do. I mean, that would make sense. So now, if I draw a land, then I'm off to the races here. I'm going to get the Bolas Citadel. And I think it's basically all about this one draw step. I need to draw land, and I need to, or a Lotus Petal. Yeah. All right. Bolas the Citadel. One draw step to rule them all. Oh no! Oh, it's the wrong land. Oh. Um. All right. I am gonna put this Dark Ritual into the graveyard. Oh man, that was heartbreaking. What are the odds my opponent doesn't like has enough no good cards in their stupid million card hand? Okay, yeah, they had the Wasteland as well, and okay, at least that wasn't Thalia. But this game is gonna run away from me. I have to draw another land. Uh, oh, I draw the pedal. That's so sick. All right, well, I mean, they could still easily be sitting on like Mindbreak Trap over there. So, but if they aren't, and they do appear to be F6 here, I still need like a lot of stuff has to go right here. Oh, I have Doomsday. Yes. Okay. Holy cannoli. All right, so I guess lines that I'm in on top, and then like consider, or is it even like stock up? Hang on, I'll be at 5 life. How do we do this? I think I can. This is new territory for me. So, let's say that. No, I think consider is fine. We will untap. I was about to say. So we'll finish resolving Doomsday. Then we'll pay 0 life to put lines that I'm into play. Sack it for triple blue. Then we will pay 3 life. That would take us to 2. Oh, I guess we don't have to do that. We would pay 1 life. That would take us to 4. And then we would bin something and draw stock up. And then cast stock up. There would be 3 cards. There would be 2 cards in the deck. Or 1 card. I don't think we need the stock up. We do need the Thassa though. So LED 1, consider is 2. I'm at 4 life. I bin a blank. And then I play a pedal and then like Thassa's Oracle. Maybe the Duress then. Okay, so let's just go through it here. We can even start with a Duress. Start with Duress. I'm at 4. Then LED. Then consider I'm at 3. And that wins the game. I don't even need consider, right? I don't even need consider. This is ridiculous. I just need like Lotus Petals. They don't cost any life. All right, so oops, I just unclicked a Lotus Petal. All right, one more time. Sorry, opponent, taking up so much time here. So Duress, I'm at 4. Then LED, pedal, yeah, and then I'm gonna be at 2. March of Otherworldly Light. Okay. I didn't even look at the cards. If they have any creature card that matters, then I'm dead. But I don't think so. All right. Holy moly, that got the juices flowing. All right. Bolas' Citadel. Yeah, beauty. All right. That's 2-1. Let's go for round number 4. Okay, I am on the draw for round number 4. Oof. Well, interesting hand, but missing a land, so we're gonna mulligan this. Opponent keeps 7. Yeah, I'll keep this and I'll bottom a Doomsday, I guess. Once upon a time, so probably Eldrazi. Glaring Fleshraker. Please, not Chalice. Ooh. Oh, okay, it that heralds the end. It's not Chalice. Is there a world where my thoughts are duress here? I think so. The One Ring, and they have this line breaker, but can they play that next turn? Yeah, they can. That's a fast clock, but so if we draw a land here, we untap and win, unless they drew a Chalice, of course. Okay, but here it doesn't look like it. Here's the line breaker. Just gonna F6 here. Come on, land or pedal, land or pedal. Or Dark Ritual. Land, Petal, Dark Ritual. I have a lot of live draws here. Hey, we got there. Okay. And here is where I am pretty happy I made the Street Wraith swap. So we just get to do the classical Doomsday thing here. Okay. We need a Petal to be the top card. I suppose in this particular instance, I could have made the top card of my deck a land, and then two edges would have worked. So it's not completely true. Need a second cycler. We need LED. We need Consider, and we need Thassa's Oracle. And we just need Oracle on the bottom and Petal on top, and then the rest doesn't matter. We cast Brainstorm, put back the blank in our hand. In this case, it's Tendrils, and then Consider on top. Cast the Consider, put Tendrils in the graveyard, and there's Thassa. Alright, so I suppose Consign to Memory comes in, but I don't really like playing quote unquote control versus them, but they don't have Sowing Micro Spawn anymore, so maybe that's not even true. Do we want the Force of Wills? I think so, right? And I think we can cut the Duresses all together and probably cut like one or two Thoughtseizes. Maybe like one Thoughtseize, one Preordain. And then the question is, like, Cavern of Souls. Probably not, right? I mean, it is solely for the Chalice on 2 line to have an out to that, but that comes up very rarely. Although I would never board out my Cavern of Souls versus Eldrazi, so I don't know. And I think we keep this hand. I like that it's not like just dead in the water to a Chalice on 1. I don't like how slow it is, but we don't have any business, I suppose, is what I mean. Okay, they're mulliganing this time. I'm keeping. Oh, they're down to 5. Well, 5 out of Eldrazi can still pack a punch here if they can go like turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer or something. But, alright. They settled on 5. Okay, there is the Chalice. And for some reason, they have maintained priority. Maybe that just sometimes happens. You misclick or do something, and then the game sort of toggles onto a setting where it's retaining priority with every game action. I've played Magic Online for like 15 years. I don't know. I still haven't worked out why that happens. Okay, Chalice is in, unfortunately. Okay. I will just pass here. And if they go like turn 2 Thought-Knot Seer, I mean, that was exactly what I was talking about. That's such a strong play. Oof. Be still my quaking heart. That is sick. Alright, my stock up is gone, I would assume. Unless they want to take my Cabal Ritual. Yep. Alright. But I mean, we can still just find like Doomsday now. I'm gonna get Surveil, get the Surveil land, and we'll see. That Chalice is kind of cramping my style. Ugh, another land. Consign to Memory. Nice. Where were you 5 minutes ago? I still think if I find Doomsday on this next turn, then I'm probably like it's still looking pretty good. But oh, Thoughtseize. Well, I'm gonna cast a Thoughtseize now just to put it in my graveyard. I could also like cast Brainstorm and then consign to Memory with Replicate and replicate the trigger onto the Chalice of the Void. Oh, they have Wasteland. That can't be good for me. Yeah, we're running out of time. I think that was the turn I had to find the Doomsday. Yeah. So long, Undercity Sewers. Stock up. Okay. Let's cast that. There is a world where I play out my LED as well, and then like sack LED, but I don't think that's the world I'm living in. Because if I even found Doomsday, I would then have to pass again, and then I would be dead. Well, there is Doomsday, so let's see. I'll be at. Okay, I think this could work. Doomsday and Cabal Ritual. Cause oh shoot, I won't have enough blue mana, will I? Because it's Cabal Ritual. I would then have to draw something that makes blue mana or a dark ritual. I guess not dark ritual. That's not gonna work. It would have to be blue mana. I still think I do it. Yeah. All right, let's pass. Cavern of Souls. Okay. Let's hope they don't have something that kills us or Thought Not Sears us again. Okay, we need something that makes a blue mana here. Oh, heartbreak. Mm, is there any way out of this? Well, I suppose. No, no, there's not. There is not. Ah, bummer. Yeah, so my plan was if I had gotten another blue mana there, I would chain Cabal Rituals. That would take me to like 8 black mana. Then I would cast Doomsday. Then I would cast Brainstorm, maintain priority, and cast Consign to Memory with Replicate and counter the Chalice trigger on the Brainstorm. But unfortunately, that is not going to work here. Okay, off to game number 3. Yeah, that was a pretty impressive mull to 5. I wonder if I want my discard in again instead of Force of Will on the draw. I think so because I think like they have Chalice of the Void. Sorry, I mean Cavern of Souls. So the Force of Wills are only really there reliably to counter Chalice, and being on the play, I would rather have, I think, the discard and make my Bolas Citadel better as well. So let's try this. Okay, I'll keep this. Thoughtseize turn 1. And obviously not great that we don't have any business, but any Doomsday or Bolas Citadel makes this hand pretty interesting. Uh-oh, they kept 7. Don't like that. Alright, Thoughtseize you. Okay, so they do get the Surveil initially, which is pretty good for them. I think I take... It's between Kozilek's Command and Grim Monolith. Oof, maybe even like Glaring Fleshraker. I don't know. No, I think I take the Grim Monolith. That's like their mana ramp here. I don't know. That was a tough decision. I'm not sure what the correct take was there. Okay, I want to see four cards exiled. Come on. Maybe the Grim Monolith is a stupid take because they can't turn 1 the Grim Monolith anyways with what they were showing me. Okay, they exile 3 cards. There's a Temple, and they're passing. Okay, that was not good. I'll put Lotus Petal in my graveyard. If they have Thought Knots here, joke's on you, buddy. Well, not really. There's Cavern of Souls. I'm guessing a Fleshraker is coming here, but let's see. Oh, it's the Line Breaker. Okay, well, that's a fast clock. Okay. Okay, Bolas' Citadel. Unfortunately, it's not going to work this turn because I don't have enough mana. And next turn, does this give... Yeah, this is so sick. So next turn they can play the Fleshraker, and then that can gain +2 +0, +3 +0 because the Fleshraker is born with... No, it's not. It's not. So I would take 7 next turn. 7, 6, 5. So 1 mana short. 1 measly mana short. But nothing that can be done. I don't know, maybe they'll get greedy and like play a the One Ring or something. Here's me wishfully thinking that. Please don't have Thought Knots here though. How about that, opponent? Okay, so that's the Fleshraker. And now they deal me 7. Nice little 7 damage there. Okay, so I'm at 7. I need to fetch at least once. I would be at 6. Mm, I think I do risk it here and cast the Brainstorm. Yeah, okay. So we can get rid of Polluted Delta and Ponder, probably? Or is it Duress? That's probably Duress. Okay. Um, I'll be at 6. It's so rough. Okay. Dark Ritual. And, like, Cabal Ritual. If I Ponder first here, I get I get Threshold. Ooh, that is very interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, so let's see here. I draw. If I draw tendrils and then cast Doomsday off of Bolas Citadel, so I'll have one black mana floating and one on top Underground Sea. I'll go to 3 from the Doomsday, and then I'll go to 1 after Doomsday is resolved, and then I put like 4 Lotus Petals. Yeah, this is sick. I love this. We could get the free Ponder. Oh, we can't now because I put it on the bottom, because that would take us from 3 to 2 life when Doomsday goes on the stack. All right. Opponent appears to be F6'd. Let's cast Doomsday. And let's say Lotus Petal. A Lotus Petal. How about another Lotus Petal? And the 4th Lotus Petal. And I guess we can also grab the LED. And the order of these literally does not matter. Okay. Wow. Please don't have my brick trap and break my heart. It doesn't look like they have. Tendrils! Yes! Yes! We won! We won with Doomsday into Tendrils. Oh man, 3-1. How about that? Okay, off to the final round. Alrighty, final round on the play. Yeah, let's keep this hand. I think I will not ponder on turn 1, but will pass here. The reason being, I don't want Bolas' Citadel to get taken from my hand. If this is a Chalice deck, we can still like turn 1, yeah, like Brainstorm under it. And if nothing really happens, we can go for Undercity Sewers. Okay, Lotus Petal and Basic Swamp. Okay, so our opponent is trying to kill us on turn 1 here as a Dark Ritual and an Entomb. Oh no. Okay, yep. Well, I don't have any Force of Wills to hit, so they can do whatever they want here. And it's Brand. Oh no. Yeah. Well, at least they only get to draw 7. Alright, let's see how many times we get discarded here. So I think the best I can hope for here is, first of all, that they don't do anything else now. Like, they don't animate something else and end the game. Like, if they have, I don't know, Sour of Insanity, or that's probably not a thing right now, but something like that. The second thing is, once the inevitable discards start to rain down on me, is that I can brainstorm into ideally two rituals and Doomsday. You know? Oh, but I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna. Let's see. Am I even close to Bolas' Citadel next turn? I would have 2 land drops. I would have 3, 4, 5 with Ponder cards in the graveyard before I have to cast Cabal Ritual. So probably not. But I am gonna. So I'm gonna hide. It's gonna be a land and Bolas' Citadel, and then I hope they take I guess I hope they take one of my cantrips and then don't discard me any further. I guess them discarding me twice would also get me further towards threshold here. Come to think of it, yeah, I don't think I accounted for that, but they might also be smart and take the Cabal Ritual. I'm guessing I'm getting discarded once more at least with all those cards. Yep. And this will take Brainstorm, I guess. So that puts it 4 cards. 5 with Flooded Strand. 6 with Lotus Petal. And so I could fetch Undercity Sewers to get to Threshold, but then that land coming into play tapped is not going to work. So I do think we have lost here. Oh wow, they have the third unmask. And that takes Cabal Ritual, and that's GG's. Okay, I'm just gonna see what they put into the graveyard here. Archon. Okay, GG's. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring in the ley lines, of course. I do worry. Like I've played against black green Reanimator quite a bit, where they always pivot into the Chain of Smog combo, but they don't pivot completely out of graveyard. But I still think it's a little bit ugh. Um, I suppose I need the Force of Wills, right? And then what do I keep here? I think I keep Doomsday. Let's board out the Citadels. Board out some number of Cabal Ritual. Board out the Tendrils of Agony. And how many blue cards am I sitting on? There's 14, 18. I guess I could bring in some number of Flusterstorm. I think I gotta cut down a little bit on the discard. And I'll remove a petal. How about that? Yeah, I'll keep this. Perfectly reasonable. 7 with a ley line. Now, I didn't even see green mana, so I don't know that they are on the Chain of Smog thing, but that is where my mind wanders off to. All right, opponent also found 7 they like. Here is my ley line, and here is a duress for your troubles. There is the Chain of Smog, but the rest of their hand doesn't do a lot. If they just top deck a Disciple of whatever it's called, the creature half of this, then so it's basically between I can take their Chain of Smog, and that leaves them with like no real combo, and then they unmask me and take my Ponder, or I take the unmask and then risk them getting the other part of their combo. I think I'm going to take the Chain of Smog, and they can 2-for-1 themselves to take my Ponder. I still have Flooded Strand that gets me the Surveil land. And there I was saying that Siren Sandy probably wasn't a card in their deck, and it is. That's funny. I don't think I've seen it in like a couple of years, but it popped into my head as something that would be kind of nasty. Oh, okay. Dark Ritual. Do they have a creature? Oh, I guess they just have the fucking Sire of Insanity. Oh my god. I am gonna vomit now. Whatever. Okay, okay. GG's opponent. Yeah, that was a tilt. All right, so let's wrap up. I had a blast playing this list. It was so much fun and exhilarating, and like Bolas Citadel is such a sort of game-breaking card that kind of makes you have to evaluate the game state differently, and just something I'm not that used to. I kind of I think I got to display everything in this league, right? There was like one normal Doomsday win. There were like Doomsday wins with Tendrils. There were several Doomsday wins with Bolas Citadel in play. I fizzled with Bolas Citadel from like 16 life or whatever it was in that round one match against Rhinos. So let's see here. So we lost against a fast Force of Will combo deck. We then beat a Force of Will combo deck in Omnitel. Then we beat Eldrazi sort of by the skin of our teeth, and the same with that mono white Chromox Thalia Esper Sentinel deck. And then we lost here, which quite decisively, I think. Yeah, I don't know, like if I'm supposed to see the line that if they top deck a Dark Ritual, I lose there. I still think it's probably correct for me to take the Chain of Smog, but maybe I don't think I was appreciating just how castable the Sire of Insanity would be. and that they had both a petal and a dark ritual and a land. But anyways, it is what it is. That matchup is probably somewhat even. I would assume. Maybe slightly. Maybe no, because we don't have force of will in game one, and so like it's not fun. We like they basically on the play get to do whatever they want. Um, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Let me know what you think about this list and what kind of Doomsday lists you would like me to venture into in the future. And yeah, that's it. I'll be back with some more Legacy. Stay safe.